Hello, neighbors. It's March 24th, 2020. The other day, a friend of mine asked, what's the silver lining to all of this? And for a political person like me, the silver lining is that our lawmakers are drawing the line in the sand. And here in Wisconsin, I'm speaking of our Republican-controlled legislature. They're just drawing the line in the sand and letting us all know where they stand and what they're about. All across the country, things are being shut down. Yesterday, Governor Evers issued an order that today we are going to go to another level of shutdown. He talked about non-essential businesses being closed, and he is following the model that is suggested by all sorts of experts. Any look into people who have been following this, you can see what they're suggesting and what they're recommending. I saw this online from an expert this morning. Strict measures in every state must be implemented. The weaker the freeze, the longer the economy will take to restart. This is common knowledge among scientists and experts all throughout the world now as we deal with this pandemic. But the Republicans lost their mind about Evers' order yesterday. And so what is it that they think he's doing? He's the governor. Do they think that he does not know that the economy will slow down when everybody is told they should stay home? Of course it will. And how does a slow economy look for a governor? It doesn't look good. Do they think that he wants a bad economy on his record? Of course not. Governor Evers, thankfully, understands that his top priority is to keep people safe, and that's what he's doing. But the Republicans in the legislature, and I always want to make sure I say this, because I know Republicans, I know conservative voters, you are nothing like the Republicans in the legislature. They are a different type of person. They are corrupt, they are handpicked, they are put in there, they are a group of landlords and real estate people and wealthy small business owners who get in there to write laws in their favor. They don't understand the whole caring about the people thing. And so this whole pandemic is making them a little crazy because all they know how to do is to butt heads with the other side. And so Evers' order gave them an opportunity to do so. And so they jumped yesterday, and here's some excerpts of statements from the Republicans. And let me remind you that I do follow this stuff, and I have yet to see any real plans from any of them. There are several things you should be doing. If you look at what's happening around the world, they should be looking into places all across the state where they can commandeer empty or temporarily empty buildings to make field hospitals, because the hospitals are going to be overwhelmed. The medical professionals are already searching for extra supplies and masks and gear that they will need. The Republicans, if they cared about the people, they should be reaching out to their Republican donors who own big factories and asking them publicly, like the U-Lines and the Menards, if they would start to look into manufacturing masks and other gear that people need. But they're not doing that. They're not offering solutions because that's not what politics is to them. They don't have wisdom and foresight. Their whole ideology is to say the government does not work. And so they're at a loss. And so in response to Evers, here's a few responses yesterday. This is from Senator Chris Kapinka from Delafield. He's a senator who, among other things, owns a business that sells parts for Tesla automobiles, and he slipped into the budget last time a provision that said Teslas could be sold online. Just a coincidence, I'm sure. But he said yesterday, every business in Wisconsin that provides an individual and or family an income is essential. That's a pushback on Evers talking about the essential businesses closing. And then this morning he tweeted this snarky quote from Winston Churchill: Americans will always do the right thing after exhausting all the alternatives. And again, I haven't seen any ideas of what it is we're supposed to be doing. And understand this. Why the experts say this is because of the spread of the disease. Now, these Republicans know that. They know what's going on. And what they're saying from Wisconsin down to Texas and over to DC and everywhere else in between is that they do not care about your parents and your grandparents. There are people all across Wisconsin who have seen their parents and their grandparents for the last time. And they don't know that right now because they're going to get sick, it's going to spread, and they're not allowed to go see them in the hospital. And then they're going to die. And these lawmakers don't care. They don't care about that. They don't care about you. They don't care about your family. People who've been following this, I've known this a long time. And we're told by some political people that I talk to that you can't say that. You can't say they don't care. but their actions prove that they don't care. Not taking the Medicaid expansion for years on end, when expert studies have shown that taking it will save lives, proves that they don't care. They don't take it because it might show that government actually works, and that goes against their ideology. Another senator yesterday, in response to Evers, Senator Dale Kuyenga from Brookfield, who recently paid $30,000 back to the taxpayers after he stole a protest sign from the rotunda in the Capitol. And he had to be pushed by the press repeatedly to pay back the money that he owed. He said, "Everyone who believes their work is non-essential, please respond here." Another snarky comment. Here's one from John Nygren from Marinette. He is the co-chair of the Joint Finance Committee. This is the fellow who last year, prior to the budget negotiations, he issued a statement to the press showing that he was removing the Medicaid expansion, removing provisions to lower drug prices, and a litany of other things about what he was removing from the budget as the co-chair. And that very same day, he and other people from his committee and leaders in the legislature got on a jet and went to DC to a big fancy fundraiser down there. That's who these people are. That's what they do. He had this to say in a statement: "I have received numerous phone calls from businesses in my district who are uncertain of their future, which is now turning to fear." Of course, that's a true statement, but it's not Governor Evers' fault. He's trying to help people, and I haven't seen anything from Nygren in terms of solutions and help. One more from our buddy Speaker Robin Voss. I don't know if you haven't heard of him. He is a millionaire property owner, slumlord from Racine, who is the Speaker of the Assembly, and he decides which bills come before the Assembly, and basically he writes the rules in his favor for his business to make himself more money in between taking vacations to Europe with lobbyists, all expenses paid. That's what he does. That's who that guy is. He says, "There also needs to be a better understanding as to why the decisions are being made because of the impact on the economy, businesses, and residents." And again, haven't seen any solutions offered, haven't seen any emergency measures put forth by these people. And so they're letting us all know where they stand. And I guess we should appreciate that. And so what can we do about it? What am I going to do about it? This afternoon, I'm going to make some calls for a couple hours. I have a long list of thousands of phone numbers from people in the district for the campaign. Usually you call those numbers to ask for some money, let them know about your campaign, but I'm not going to be asking for money. I'm going to be telling these people because they're going to be home. And if they give me the opportunity to chat with them for a little bit, I'm going to tell them who these people are, who are the Republican lawmakers in the legislature. And I tell them what they're up to, and I tell them what they think about their parents and their grandparents. And we can draw our own line in the sand. And we can let them know that here in the 29th district, we're going to fight back. We're going to let everybody know what's going on. And I'm going to do it politically. And when we win this campaign, I'm going to be saying stuff like this all the time for my people in the district, to pull back the curtain, to let people know what's going on. But I'm a political person, and so I'll also issue a warning to the people there. I'm going to do things politically. But if you have any read of history or of human nature, there's a lot of people who aren't going to do things politically. And if some real solutions aren't put forward by our representatives, then people are going to take things into their own hands. Desperate people who have no money, have no job, have no prospects. They're getting evicted. Those people will become desperate. And the biggest firewall that the Republicans in the legislature have are not their own voters. It is the huge numbers of people who do not vote. And those people, when they come for you in Madison or wherever you are, they're not going to ask what letter is next to your name, because they're not political people. They're going to be desperate people. So you better start coming up with some solutions and not just push back on everything the governor does because you don't want him to have a win, or you want to tell people that look at how awful the governor is handling these things. He's doing what needs to be done for the people. And so after this video, you will see my website, you will see links. If you want to join me in making some calls to people to let people know what's going on, get in touch. We can do that. Otherwise, try to stay healthy. We'll talk to you soon.